Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Adriana, your host for Negotiating Happiness, and we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 and 107.7 FM in the beautiful city of New Orleans. And if you guys wanted to sit back and watch us, we are definitely on Roku TV as well. Just type in UFO Paranormal, and here we go. Grab your coffees, grab your lunch, guys. It is a new Monday, and I have a new guest today, and this is Nick Regina. Hello, Nick. How are you?
Amazing. Excited to be on the platform with you and feeling an immense amount of gratitude right now for the opportunity and ready to rock, ready to answer all your questions and go deep on whatever you think is going to bring most valuable to the listeners and the viewers.
Amazing. I'm just excited for them to get to know your story and what you're working on. And I'm also super grateful that you're here. Guys, Nick is super busy and he's literally changing the world as we speak. So we're just lucky to have him on here. So just remember that we are live. So if you guys want to drop your comments or your questions, we will do our best to answer them. I'm just going to do a little bit of a quick intro. If you guys don't know who Nick Regina is, he is the visionary CEO and co-founder of Spark Financial Group and the creator of the Support the Blazer charitable campaign. What started as an unexpected travel mishap in 2022, losing his luggage and being left with only a vibrant floral shirt, became the inspiration for a movement that blends humor, authenticity, and community-driven philanthropy. We will explore Nick's innovative approach to charitable giving, his journey as an entrepreneur who leads with purpose, and how authenticity and community engagement can drive significant social good. From raising $9,000 for the Canadian Cancer Society in 2022 to $23,000 for $1 million smiles in 2023 to surpassing 100,000 in 2024 with 102,000 raised for Waves of Change for Autism. Nick's story is a testament to how personal experiences can inspire extraordinary change. Nick's leadership showcases how entrepreneurs can authentically integrate giving back into their business model, turning personal experiences into powerful catalysts for social good and community impact. If you guys can't tune in for the whole video, or if you're listening to us, that's okay. Just find us on our socials and you will get the archive back. Amazing. So Nick, how are you doing today? Happy Monday.
Well, folks, just listen to that. I was like, I gotta get her to intro me on all the calls and all the stations.
You know where to find me. Oh, we're having some issues here. I think it's picking up on the sound there. Can you repeat what you just said, Nick?
Yeah, no, just wanted to say thank you very much. That was an awesome intro, and excited to be doing this with you for sure.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited that you're here. Typically, we start off with saying, "Hey, how did you stumble into entrepreneurship?" Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you started out?
Yeah, for sure. So, growing up, my father was in the entrepreneurial space. He was in the construction industry. And, my father is a mentor of mine, my biggest idol, someone that I've always looked up to. So, I never really did well in school. So, he tried over the years with my mother to get me to engage more, to get me to, put in more effort and really try. And I'd like to say I did. And it wasn't for me. So he said, okay, if you're not going to excel in school and put your efforts there, then you're going to come to work with me. So I pretty much grew up in his passenger seat, in my earlier teenage years and later teenage years, and just listened to the way, he talked to his employees, his subcontractors, people that were within his ecosystem when he was on the phone. And, when I was going on job sites with him and working for him, I'd see the way that he moved and shaped, and I really liked it. I really liked the entrepreneurial space, and thought that, if I took in as much information as I could from him and I followed in his footsteps, that I could give it a go, upon the time me being old enough and having the experience. So I'd like to say that I got a taste of it at a very young age, and I was fired up about wanting to get into the space on my own one day.
And that's the really good part about entrepreneurship is that it does light up this fire in people, and it does make people want to get out of their comfort zones, right? So whenever you were kind of, just starting out, I'm sure you had a million doubts just like everybody else, but here you are today. So if you were to kind of do like a recap, what is like your number one thing that you still hold on to that you learned pretty early on, like a lesson or something that's short and quick that a budding entrepreneur can absorb?
Yeah, fail fast and keep going, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially earlier, you fail, you lose confidence, um, you get going down a spiral. Failure is where most of the learning lessons come from, right? Fast, take that, apply it to what you're going to be doing in the future so that you won't make those same mistakes again. And keep going is important. Fast.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, what about what about failure do you think that keeps people back? Because I think once you get over that first time or second time, you kind of get a taste of it because you see the good part of it. So what do you think holds people back? Like what is it? What's that push that we all need as entrepreneurs to kind of get over that and just say dive in?
Yeah, the fear of judgment from others, right?
Right. Right.
So, we're very conscious about the judgment of others, right? And we let it play in our heads a lot bigger than what we really should be allowing. And we don't want to say we don't know. We don't want to say we failed. We don't want to say we didn't check off the list and get the job done. We don't want to say that we're wrong, right? Accountability is a big thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Sorry, I think you're cutting out again with your phone there. Is there any way you can get a little bit closer there? Maybe if you have notifications coming on, they're cutting off so we can't hear much of that. Let me see here. If I can do anything on my end. Guys, you guys know this is part of the job here when we go live, right? You just have to laugh it off and keep going, right? Let's see.
Am I sounding a little bit more clear?
Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's way better. Yeah, you're cutting out, so I couldn't hear
Okay.
it.
Yeah, sorry. Do you want me
Okay.
to restart on that question again?
I mean, yeah, if you do on the second part there, yeah, I think that's where we were kind of losing you there for a sec.
Yeah, so it's the fear of it's the fear of judgment, right? So we're very scared in regards to what others think, what others are going to say, and we shy away from taking big action and moving forward and
Right.
admitting to our wrongs and admitting to our failures because again we're fearful of the judgment of others. So it's about learning how to drown out that noise and understanding that accountability is huge, right? Because it's very
Mhm.
easy to point the fingers outwards and
Mhm.
blame everyone else for what had went wrong. But it starts and it ends with us, right?
Yeah,
So taking accountability, drowning out the fear of judgment from others, and just continuing to move forward and taking big action while doing so.
that's amazing. And what made you start? I mean, you had multiple businesses, right? So I think you sort of got over that hurdle you decided to, start out, I believe, in the entertainment industry, right? So do you want to take us through your journey? It's fascinating. I love it every time I hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, when my father said that I had to work at a very young age because I wasn't excelling at school or doing that well with it, at the end of the day, it was, working with his construction company and then making sure that I also was working on the weekends as well. So I got my first job and it was as a busboy. And I worked at a cafe called the News Cafe, and I was washing dishes in the back, and then I was working the evenings with him, and even sometimes during the day as well for the
Mhm.
construction company. And it was there that I found, my love for the hospitality and entertainment business. I just, all the club owners and the people that work downtown, because this was a midtown bar, used to come there to eat prior to them going to their clubs. And they were all the owners and they were with their friends and their girlfriends and they were all dressed up nice. And I just thought that they were like the coolest guys in the world.
Right.
So I
Right.
used to like fire out from the back and I was shining their glasses like right in front of them so they were extra shiny. And I'd wear like a blazer and a dress shirt, even though I wasn't meant to be on the floor. I was meant to be in the back washing dishes. And I was 13, so they kind of buzzed out a bit and they were like, oh wow, this guy's cool. You know what I mean? Like he goes
Yep.
the extra mile and like, he's just so excited to be doing his job. So they'd always like tip me and have a laugh with me and give me, some pointers here and there. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's when I fell in love with the hospitality industry, right? And
Yeah.
from there, as I was working with my father construction as well, I'd always have a gig on the side. So it went from busboying to bartending. I bartended for 4 years at a cocktail bar on College Street called Eat My Martini. And I met a lot of people there. And as I was tending the bar, I was just, naturally good at it, right? Just laughing with people, joking around with them, making sure that, I was servicing them and providing that white glove service that I was, taught in that space. And then, from elementary school, high school, all the people that I had met at the bar, sports, I had met so many people that I had such a big network. And that's when I decided to start a promotion company called NRG. And yeah, I made the leap from bartending into promoting. So I built up Canada's biggest promotion company for nightlife. I had 55 promoters at one point, and they were from different areas in Ontario. And we would promote one party every 3 weeks, and we would just jam it and we would slam it. And something that I think came natural with learning from my dad on how to lead, how to be genuine, how to be good to people, how to teach people, that. They could be good at what it is they do and understanding and noticing what their strengths are
Yeah.
and shining those, putting a light on them and shining them for them, and allowing them to excel and spread their wings. So I did that on an ongoing basis. And yeah, it led to the point where we could fill up any nightclub that we worked at. So that's what we did. We'd pick the biggest nightclubs, we'd fill them up. We'd make a lot of money, we'd have a lot of fun. And it got to the point where it was so big, it was so popular. There was so much hype around the company that we started getting offers from club owners to, own equity in the clubs with them. Because what they wanted to do is lock us in and have exclusivity with us so that we could continuously fill their nightclubs up instead of other
Mhm.
ones.
Mhm.
So that was when I had taken my first offer to be a nightclub owner at 25 years old. And yeah, the rest is history. It was 5 years after that. I went on to own five nightclubs in Toronto, two in Miami. The promotion company won Promoter of the Year at the Toronto Nightclub Awards 9 years in a row. The last 3 years I was in the business, I won Nightclub Owner of the Year. And we went hard. We went hard. At any given point, I owned two, three nightclubs on arguably what the hottest strip is in Canada on King Street West between Bathurst
Mhm.
and Spadina.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We met a lot of celebrities, a lot of amazing people. Made, like I said, made a lot of money and learned a lot. Learned a lot, a lot, a lot. And it was at 30 years old that I decided to make the leap out of nightlife and hospitality and get into finance. The reason being is just because, I was a family man. I had two kids at that point. I have three now. And yeah, I had to make the leap because that lifestyle wasn't going to allow me to be the best version of myself so that I could lead by example for my children. So I got out of the industry, and I plugged into the financial sector, and I'm now building a portfolio in the financial sector. But just to go back and talk a little bit more about that transition, as the years
Yeah.
went on, I had taken on some addictions to drugs and alcohol, and the lifestyle got the better of me, right? I mean, you're in the
Hmm.
clubs 6 days a week, and you're surrounded by your vices, and it just got really, really bad at the tail end, to the point where I hit what I call my rock bottom. And had a very big spiritual awakening when I fell to my knees one night, and I didn't know what to do, where to turn, who to go to, and I was in such a bad place that I literally fell to my knees at my bedstep, and said, if whoever you are, whatever you are, if you're out there, I need your help. And I just felt something enter me. And then from that day until now, I just continue to follow the nudges, build my relationship with God, do the best that I can day in, day out on staying sober and recovery, and give back. Give back is a promise that I made the big man upstairs. I told him that, when the dust had settled and I was back on my feet and I was thinking clearly again, I understood, that he had saved my life. And I made him a promise. I said, for the rest of my life, I'm going to try to help as many people as I can, you know, because you helped me. Right. So, Spark Charity Foundation was born. Support the Blazer was born. Those are our charity philanthropic initiatives. And that's what we do 365 days a year is we try to find ways to spread love and give back to the people that are in need.
I love that. First of all, thank you so much for sharing that. And I love that throughout your entrepreneurship journey, your businesses sort of mimicked your development, right? So you went on from doing, I mean, everyone's doing that at that age, right? Like everyone's going out, everyone's having fun. You made it, that was your purpose at the time, was to make something, a career, an amazing career, right? And then you said, I'm now learning from my own personal experiences and know that I need to transition to something new. And change is hard. A lot of entrepreneurs, I find that they have a really good idea and they go with it and they do really well, but because they're so stuck and they don't like change, they end up failing long term because it's not sustainable. Whereas you switched, you put on your thinking cap and you said, I can turn this pain into something else. And a lot of the times when I bring entrepreneurs here on the show, a lot of the times it's pain that gets turned into, something positive. And so if you had to, this is a really hard question, right? Because of this, you have a personal story tied into your entrepreneurship journey, but if you had to do something different, what would you, right? And if anything, because half the time people say that, hey, I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't go through all that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, nothing. I wouldn't change a thing because I wouldn't be where I am today, right? I mean,
Mhm.
there's a lot of trauma that comes from the past. There was a lot of hardships. There's still a lot that I'm currently dealing with that, will take me the rest of my life to deal with, right? But everything that happened has made me into the man that I am today. And I'm very happy with who I am today. And again, we talk about failing. We talk about, taking accountability, and we talk about learning from those failures and applying it to your business. Well, the same goes in my personal life. I've applied it to my personal life. I've
Mhm.
understood and I've held myself accountable in ways that I could have been way better as a
Mhm.
person, and I would feel so much guilt. I would feel so much shame. And sometimes I still do, right? But then I got to look at it from the perspective in which, well, if you didn't make all those mistakes and you didn't do what you did, you wouldn't be, on such an awesome and amazing path right now, building your relationship with God and, trying to be the best version of yourself day in, day out. Because, yeah, hitting that rock bottom wasn't fun, but it was the worst day of my life and the best day of my life because I
Yeah.
found God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We've got Dana here. Dana was telling us earlier that great insight, so true. I know she's saying, thank you for sharing your story, Nick. Personally and professionally, being authentic and real is such an inspiration. I agree. Wholeheartedly agree. Thank you, Dana.
Yeah, Dana's the best. Big shout out to Dana,
Yeah,
man. She's crushing her campaign and she inspires me big time. And she's got an awesome story too.
yes, she does. She was on last week, so I can't wait to post a couple more clips from there. But it's true, you are an inspiration because not only do you talk about being authentic, and taking accountability. That's what you're doing effectively every time that you're saying, hey, this is what I went through. And you're not the only one, right? We all have a journey. And I like that you are saying, I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be who I am today. It means you understand that from the good and the bad, you can now learn and move on, right? Especially in entrepreneurship, like without failure, we would just be doing the same thing over and over, and there would be no progress, right?
Yes,
Amazing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Diana says, "Oh, I love you both. Thank you."
Love you too.
Love you too, Diana. Um, so let's talk a bit about how the blazer came about. I know I kind of blurred through the intro there. I really like the story of you losing your shirt, and you all of a sudden in your entrepreneur brain went, I could turn this into a really good thing. Who does that, Nick? Who does that? I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that I have always been is an optimist,
Yeah.
and looking at things from a glass half full. So when I was on the business trip to Texas with my partner, Air Canada had lost my luggage, and I was like, man, I'm never wearing this type of shirt. It was a real funky flannel flower shirt, and I promise you, I don't know what got into me that day, but I think it was that week where I was at. I go to some local clothing stores, and I'm just like, hey man, I'm not a fashionista. I don't really know like what's in, what's not in. Like throw some stuff in on me, and I'll wear it. So
Yeah, yeah,
it wasn't my picking, but he's like, yeah, this stuff's in right, or this shirt's in right now. I was like, all right, cool, I'll rock it then, right?
yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, and it was just a funny shirt. And when they lost my luggage, it's like, okay, well, again, let's look at this from a glass half full, and what can we do that's a little bit funny? What can we do that's lighthearted? What can we do that turns this bad situation into a good situation? And that's when I
Mhm.
turned the camera around. I went on Instagram, and I said, hey guys, I'm gonna stay in this shirt for 3 days, and I'll allow you to dare me whatever you want me to do, and I'll do it. And I'm gonna attach a GoFundMe link to it, and everything you dare me to do, make a donation, and we're going to donate everything to the Canadian Cancer Society. And that's what we did. They were daring me to jump in the pool with it, to go to dinner with it, to take a shower with it, to jump out of ceiling tile roofs with it. And I did everything that they asked me to do, and they made some generous donations.
Yeah.
And by the time that the third day had rolled around, my luggage was back, and we were just having so much fun with it that everyone's like, they didn't want it to end. So I was like, okay, you know what? I got 27 more days to make it an even 30. Call it a
Right.
month I'll be doing this for, and let's keep rocking, right? So everyone loved that and continued to further engage with it. And we just had a lot of fun. We raised $9,200 the first year, and I put it in a glass case in the hallway here at the office. And and I put the amount raised where we donated to, everybody's name who donated, on a plaque right under it. And every time I'd walk by it in the office, like I'd laugh, I'd giggle, I'd smile, I'd feel like some really good energy coming off it. I'm like, man, I got something here, like I got to evolve this. I don't want to like not do that again, right? So that's where the support the Blazer charity foundation, or sorry, charity
Okay.
initiative was born.
Yeah.
And yeah, I said, okay, we're gonna evolve it into a blazer, and we're gonna wear it for 30 days in a row, once a year, and we're just gonna, wrap as much PR around it as possible as we can, and spread as much love, and raise as much money, and donate as much as we can back to these amazing people that head off these charities that are doing God's work so that they can make a difference. And that's what we did. So yeah, we're in year 4 right now. Year 1 was 9,200 to the Canadian Cancer Society. Year 2 was 23,000 to $1 million Smiles, who deal with children that have rare genetic diseases. Year 3 was Waves of Changes for Autism, that
Hmm.
help children with autism under the age of 12, and we raised 102,500. And this year is year 4, and what makes this year so special is that we've added on a layer called the Good People Army. And the
Hmm.
Good People Army, are people like me that are wearing a blazer for 30 days in a row, and they're going as hard as they can with it on their social media and their personal life, leveraging all the resources they have to raise as much awareness, spread as much love, and raise as much money as they can so that we can help out the Ronald McDonald House, who's the main recipient, and 17 other amazing charities, right? So
Yeah.
it's really cool to see it, evolve the way it's evolving right now. And it's such a spiritual, you know, divine
Purpose.
project that,
It's
yeah,
just
it's
it's
so
filled
cool.
with
It's
purpose.
so
Yeah, yeah,
special.
yeah.
Yeah, it fills my heart. It fills my
It,
heart.
for everybody that's just listening now, I just pulled up on the screen here one of the many articles that's being written about the Blazer campaign. This is one. This one is on Blog Toronto, Blog TO, and you can see here the Good People Army that Nick was talking about. This is just a fraction of everybody. There are 65 of us this year, and we're. It's such a great group. I was was talking to some people and say that there's such a lot of them are entrepreneurs or people in different industries, and they're so open and they're so like ready to help each other, and they're so enthusiastic about this, and I think that's what's going to make the biggest difference. And also, Nick, you are the person that's leading everybody, right? So I think just everything feeds into each other, and it's so nice to see other people in business being so welcoming, right? And if you guys wanted to check out some of the articles, I'm pretty sure all you have to do is type in the Good People Army, and a bunch of the Blazer campaign stuff is coming out. I mean, you guys did amazing with media too. We had a billboard in Sankofa Square. There's so many events. A lot of these wonderful people in the Good People Army are putting on events for everybody to show up and to donate and just to give back. So it's such a great group to be a part of. And speaking of one of our people from the Good People Army, there's Luca. Luca came in with a comment and said, Nick's story is such a powerful story. A humbled second chance at life is something so rare, and not many of us actually take it when given the opportunity. That is 100% true. Thank you so much, Luca, for coming on here to give us your thoughts. I have to
Yeah,
say,
big shout out to Luca. He's such an awesome. He's become such an awesome friend of mine, and everything that I'm doing, he's so supportive of, and it's just a pleasure to be able to surround myself with beautiful souls like that are really getting behind this and taking it, to a whole other level, right? So big shout out to Luca, as he's one of the soldiers in the Good People Army too, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I saw Massimo like checked in here as well today. So thank you for that, guys. And Dana, like I said, this is part of this group, this amazing group of people that are so open and willing to help, right? So if you guys, I mean, every single one of us has a link. You'll see it on our socials. Just go on and check out our stories. A lot of us have personal stories, and a lot of us just want to help. So if you wanted to be a part of that for this year, check us out. Donate, anything helps, or even just share. Share, spread awareness of this, and or approach us. We're all very nice people, approachable. DM us. We'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So what's I guess do you want to share your news, the news that you shared in the chat yesterday about what we're sitting at and how amazing that is?
Yeah, for sure. So we've already doubled what last year's campaign is, and we still have a full 2 weeks plus
Yeah.
the gala, and we're
Amazing.
sitting over, if I'm not mistaken, 205,000 today. And that's just again God's work and the Good People Army's work, and
Yep.
all of our donors and the community's work together as one, and it's I love to say a rising tide lifts all ships, and that's what's happening right now. You can see that, through everyone's involvement in their efforts, it's just amplified this campaign, and it's taken it to a whole other level. And not only do we have that going for us this year, and we're only mid-campaign, but you start to think of, the years to come and how this can really grow and evolve. And I've heard it from so many people in the Good People Army. I've heard it from so many people in the general public. I've heard it from so many people that are on the PR relationship side of things. And it's like they give me this look, and I'm like, and they're like, man, you understand like what you guys are creating here? Like, you understand how this can grow, you understand how this can explode, and you understand how good this is. And it's like, Yeah, like I kind of do it. And we definitely built out the mechanics so that it could be performing the way that it is. But like, no, I don't think I fully wrap my head around it either, because I get too excited and then I'm like, I already want next year to happen. But then at the same time, I'm like, no, you got to be present, and be here today and take it all in for what it's worth today and just feel that love, from everyone in the army, from everyone that, is appreciating what's happening because,
Yeah.
tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? So I try not to get too excited about it, but it is hard because everyone understands and sees the potential in it. And,
Mhm.
I think other than, again, the way other than giving credit to the way the platform was built, the internal mechanics, the good people army and everything else, I think we got to take a look at society, today, and we got to take a look at what's happening, with our world governments, and we got to take a look at what's happening in regards to, how many tragedies and how many sad stories are out there and how many people need help. And I think what's most exciting about this is that not only does it have the potential to grow, explode, and spread love globally, but it's because the world needs it and it
Yeah.
needs it more than ever, you know? And that's what's so exciting about it is like it's so frustrating to know that the world is in the shape that it's in,
Mhm.
but yet most of the time we feel powerless. Most of the time we feel like we want to do so much and we want to wave our magic wand and have it all go away, or we'll be willing to put our lives on the line to just change it,
Yeah.
but we can't. We can't, right? But with the
Yeah.
good people army now we can, right? And I think that feeling is a feeling of just being. It feels like it's so liberating,
Yeah.
to be like, hey man, if I keep doing what I'm doing, and everybody in the army keeps doing what they're doing, and God keeps doing what He's doing, we could save the world,
Yeah.
and then you feel as if you're making progress, and that's where happiness comes from in a big way. It's just by making progress, even if it's baby
Mhm.
steps, you feel really good and happy and successful when that happens. And we could all tell it's pretty evident that we're making a lot of progress.
Yeah.
um, and that's why I think a lot of people in the good people army are happy right now too, because they're seeing the progress that we're all making, right? Um, and so does the rest of the community, and I think it's making them happy too.
And I think you have to think about what you've created is you've created purpose for a lot of us. A lot of us are already, involved in other things, or we're just working and trying to figure out, hey, where can I put my energy into it? So you're leading the good people army into such a great purpose. Like you said, we're trying to get our global vibe needs to be up because there's so much going on now that it's depressing. But isn't it amazing how unity can accomplish things and make such a big impact? Maybe if we're all spread out, we could make an impact on our own, but together it's 10 times more. 10
Yeah.
times more the reach, 10 times more. We can look at it even math wise. I think we were talking about in the chat, and this is for anybody that's totally, trying to grow their business or whatever. Just the fact that we're collaborating on our content, on reels, on just sharing each other's information. Instagram has the algorithm picked up on it, and everybody's engagement and reach is like triple, quadruple,
Mhm.
like whatever the case is. So it just goes to show how much collaboration can make a difference. And it can be on a small scale just for a small entrepreneur, or it can be on a big scale where we're helping other people. Right. So
Very, very, very well said. Very
yeah.
well said.
And you were part of the Life Path podcast a couple of days
Mhm.
ago, right? The one that we attended, and I really liked the subject matter was purpose, right? And Zarak at one point was saying, what if you could do what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and you would also, can make a living off of it, and you could change the world. And it's like, yeah, that's the dream, man. Like that's the dream. So this is amazing that we're putting purpose now into everything that we're doing. So what do you have to say about purpose? You had some really great things to say, so I want you to share them.
Yeah, it brings so much fulfillment and happiness, right? And um there's so much to be said about, you know, everybody thinking that that's not where it comes from. You know, everybody's very fascinated on keeping up with the Joneses or the
Right.
materialistic items or, you know, the monetization aspect of things. And, you know, we're looking at, you know, impressing the world, right? In ways that we could show off our skills or our ability in knowing how to make money, in
Hmm.
knowing how to be quote unquote cool,
Hmm.
right? And that's sad and that's not true. You know, that comes with a little bit of instant gratification, but then that fades in very soon timing. And you know,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey famously said it once. He goes, "Man, I wish everyone could be as famous as me and as rich as me right now, to realize that this is not where true happiness and fulfillment comes from."
Right.
And he was saying that because he's saying what he's what he's trying to explain there is people are going to go their whole lives to try to get at my level, and they're going to die without being successful, a lot of them, and they're never going to know.
Ooh, we've got some. There
Cutting
we
off
go.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah, they're never going to know that this is not where true happiness thrives from, but they're going
Right.
to chase it their whole life, right?
Hmm.
And then some people that do actually make, you know, whatever money they want to make and whatever, you know, their goals were, whatever material items they wanted, they get there and then they realize, oh yeah, shoot, you know,
Yeah.
this is where true happiness and how many years would that take them? So it's
Right.
like so much, you know, you're on this trajectory and you think you're chasing something that's going to bring happiness and fulfillment, but really you're not, right? You could be happy today, like right now, today, after this radio show, or even during, to just understand, you
Yeah.
know, so many things to be grateful for right now that, you know, you're very fortunate to have, even if it's just simply walking out your door and your heart's beating, you know, and
Hmm.
you can smell, hear, feel, touch, listen, call your mom, call your dad, call a brother, sister, you know, like you just walk out and know that there's so much to be grateful for right now. Um, so yeah, like when you talk about um, being fulfilled and happy, you know, a lot comes from contribution and purpose and being able to leverage what we have right now, which is so much, and give back, you know, and give back to the people that are in need, that don't have what we have, that aren't as fortunate as we are, that need the help, that are in a very dark place. And you know, there's so much fulfillment that comes with that. And you'll know the minute that you give back, you know, you'll feel that feeling and you'll understand, you know, what we're talking about. But imagine amplifying that and doing it for 30 days with a blazer on with a bunch of other amazing people. And that's what we're all feeling, right? Is
Yeah.
because we're steady giving back, whether it's putting up a post, having a conversation with someone, raising some money, you know, just getting in the group chat and bouncing off of each other. That's what we're feeling, right? It's a very fulfilling feeling to give back, you know, without expectation wanting to receive anything, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Here's from the Good People Army, Luca OG65. Let's go.
Yes,
Luca.
yes, yes. We're all gonna get a patch on all the 65, the original 65 people that joined this year's army, because I think there's gonna be hundreds in next year's.
Yeah.
We're all gonna get a patch
I can't wait.
saying the OG 65, and that means you were part of the original crew, you
Yeah.
know?
Sign me up, right? Yeah. There's
Yeah.
Melissa. This is such a powerful movement and amazing work. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you,
And
Melissa. That's awesome. That means the world to us.
yeah, and Massimo, your network is your net worth. And funny enough, I completely agree. Funny enough, net worth is means so much more when you take that view of like what else is there, right? So like part of spirituality, family, like it's not just about money, it's not just about being off well, it's about how you can give and receive in more than financial ways, right? And I am grateful that I can do what I can do. I understand that there's people out there that cannot, and this is the whole purpose of this, is that we can uplift others with us, right? If we're doing well, then everybody around us should be able to do it as well, because it's a flow, right? If you when you
That's right.
give, you receive. If you're blocked on that, then you're going to have issues with this forever. I actually was speaking to another entrepreneur, and she took a course in that had to do with limits around money. and how real it is psychologically for people and how it limits them in fulfilling any kind of potential, right? Like money is a huge part of everyone's life. And once you realize how you can get over that or how you can overcome it, then everybody around you, including yourself, will be much better off.
Yeah. And I remember too, right? Like if you do it without intention, the law of reciprocity is 10x.
Right.
So if you're doing it from a self, if you're doing it as a selfless act and you don't expect anything in return, it's actually the real deal. It's
Mm-hmm.
10x, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what that looks like um, is remarkable. Is
Yeah.
remarkable in my opinion. And you look at when you join the community that leads with love. There's trusted individuals within that community that are coming in and doing acts of kindness and very selflessly. That's a community I want to be part of. That's a community I want to do business with, on the side. That's a community that I want to have in my ecosystem. And those are people that I want to talk to every day. So, you look in the business world right now and you're like, man, you got to watch every angle that people are trying to come at you at. And it's scary out there, right? How
Mm-hmm.
savage mode everyone's in right now. And I feel as if though, it's hard to take people, at face value, and it's hard to trust their word, and it's hard to think they're going to come through for you to the extent that you're going to come through for them. And it's rare. Not only is it hard, it's rare. But now when you enter into a community like this, like that's not the purpose of the Good People Army, but there just happens to be some awesome business entrepreneurs in there. There just happens to be some amazing employees that are looking for work in there. There just happens to be good people, that are doing good not only in their personal life but in their business life as
Yeah.
well. So that I guess that's part of the law of reciprocity within our Good People Army without us even trying for it, right?
It's relationship building, and that's exactly how you build more authentic relationships, and that's what will make you be more sustainable, right? Or let's say think about how everybody does, this idea of handshake business, right? But a lot of businesses thrive on that, and a lot of them are done on the golf course or somewhere else. We're in the space where we can still do that. We can still be social and do business that way, but we can say, hey, I've actually known this person for X amount of years. We do charity work together, and your brain picks up on that vibe. And then you remember that they donated, that they spent their time, that they said they were going to be there when they were there when they said they were going to be there. So they're reliable. So you're building all of these relationships that in the end can, benefit you later, or I'm always of the mindset that you can't be salesy with any of it, right? It has to be true and it has to be authentic. And I think a group like this will get to know each other authentically without it having to be like, hey, here's what I have to offer. And so far, everybody's been amazing, right? They've put up their time, their money, their resources, their contacts, and they're like, hey guys, let's put on events, let's support each other, So it's been really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Good, very well said, and I couldn't agree with you more on that one.
We've been having so much fun talking that I completely blew through me doing a station intro, which just wouldn't be the first time that's happened. So that's okay. So if you guys are just tuning in, you're listening to 105.3 and 107.7 FM at the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network. And I am here today, your host, Adriana, if you're a stroke negotiating happiness. And I'm here with Nick Regina, and we are talking about the Spark Charity Foundation and the Support the Blazer campaign that is going on right now, guys. It is ending on October 18th, and we still have a full 2 weeks if you wanted to be a part of it. We were going over what it means to be part of the Good People Army, and that this campaign is going to happen next year as well. So be on the lookout. I've been posting out Nick's socials. So if you wanted to follow him on Instagram, it's at Nick Regina. And if you wanted to go follow the foundation, it is at Spark Charity Foundation. And or any of us, if you wanted to click on there, we've been posting and reposting each other's stuff if you wanted to follow along. And if you wanted to donate, if you go to sparkcharity.ca, you will have an opportunity there to donate. Anything helps, guys, or even if you just wanted to spread the word, we would be eternally grateful. I'm actually doing a giveaway. So Ontario Assistant is putting together a boo basket for October because it's the thing to do these days. So anybody who's donated on my page, guys, it didn't matter if you you did it before or now or in the next 2 weeks, you guys are all going to be entered into a raffle. That basket is probably worth now about $350. So just anything helps. I'm eternally grateful, and I will be sending out personal thank you notes to everybody.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and a big shout out. I went over to Sale, and Sale has a $50 gift card that I will also be raffling off as well, that they're donating. Sale in Cambridge. So thank you guys.
Amazing.
Nick,
Generous.
yeah, Nick, we've got like maybe about 5 minutes left. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself or your family, just so that we can get to know you a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. First and foremost, a man of God. The big man upstairs is my father, and I serve him, and I try to do my best day in, day out. I'm also a husband to a lovely wife by the name of Sophia. I have three children, Harlow, Mila, and Nico, 7, 5, and 4. So it's a busy household.
Mm-hmm.
My background is Italian Canadian. My parents were born there. I was born here. Well, my dad was born here too when he was young. And yeah, I mean, just on an overall, I'm on a huge personal development journey. I love entrepreneurship. I try to take, the most that I can in from life and just enjoy it as much as I can. And, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission with the rest of the Good People Army to just lead with love and by example, and to try to help as many people as we can help, and the beautiful thing is, and that's done through our charity, the Spark Charity Foundation, and the Support the Blazer initiative. And the beautiful thing is about a charity, the more and more I think about it, is like, that's the legacy. We could leave on, and you could appoint, a new vice president, a new president, and you whatever, right? And we could pass the charity on through generations. So it doesn't end in just our lifetime. And if this is an army that could get bigger and stronger and more powerful in ways that it helps millions and millions of people, then that never has to end. Right. And so yeah, that's my legacy, right? Spark Charity and Support the Blazer will be my legacy, a big part of it at least. And I'm happy to do it because the world needs a lot more love, and it's a beautiful thing when you love thou neighbor, the way that you'd like to be loved. So, yeah, I mean, that's a little bit more about me, on from a bird's eye view. And yeah, it's definitely shifted my focus from wanting to scale my financial firm to a big evaluation, and now I just want to scale my charity to
Yeah,
spread more love. So
definitely.
definitely as things continue to evolve and life moves forward, it gets I'm looking deeper for the purpose and the legacy, and trying to do the best that I can, to lead by example for my kids and to leave this world a better place than I found it.
Yeah. And Nick, you can't teach that thing that you've got where you're a go-getter, right? So that just obviously comes natural for you. So every time that you talk about, like scaling or something, you get this like twinkle in your eye and you've got like a big smile on your face. And that's kind of like the fire that everybody that wants to open up a business or that they need to get, right? So it's nice to see it, burning, because it's hard work and there's a lot of sacrifice that is involved. There's a lot of time spent doing things that you might not necessarily be up for doing all the time, right? But it just needs to be done. So it what a great they give such an inspiring story that it's a really good lesson for anybody that's coming in, right? So just keep
Mhm.
going and go get what you want to get, and you can do it all. You just have to be strategic about things, right?
Be strategic and take big action. I'm a big Tony Robbins guy. If any of you have seen any of his content or enjoy him, I definitely recommend going to see him live because you'll walk out of there fired up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of his biggest things. He's like, take big action. It's almost like ready, fire, and then aim, because sometimes we get a little bit too caught up in, building out the strategy and trying to fill in on the blanks on the fine details, and we forget to actually hit the start button and just go, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll figure it out along the way. But yeah, take big action, right? Take those leaps, and you don't want to be on your deathbed regretting anything that you wanted to do your whole life and you didn't because you were fearful or because you didn't take big action, right? So
Right.
again, like I said at the beginning of the show, drowned out the noise in regards to, the judgment of others, take
Mhm.
accountability, fail fast, and keep moving forward and continue to take big action.
Yeah, that's amazing. Guys, if you wanted to follow Nick, you can do so on LinkedIn as well at Spark Financial Group Inc. And if you wanted to follow him on Instagram, it's at Nick Regina. He actually posts a lot of really fun little videos as well that are amusing, but also very, very important with everything that's going on in his busy entrepreneur calendar. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. We have another comment here from Luca, and he says, "This is God's work." Yep, it really is. And there's Dana talking about how amazing you are, how this is awesome. Thank you so much, Dana. And thank you for everybody that tuned in. We can't wait to keep updating you guys on our socials, so stay tuned. And Nick, what's one thing that you want to leave people with that they have to look forward to with this campaign?
Yeah, just follow along, and you'll see in no time you're going to want to join the Good People Army, because it's an amazing group of people, and it's going to continue to grow, and it's going to
Yeah.
continue to spread love, and we're going to continue to change the world. So we'd love to welcome you in with open arms if you got a big heart and you feel called to it.
Yep. And I'm sure if Ronald McDonald House Charities, if that's a cause close to your heart, then please follow along for that as well. They have updates that they send us as well. And for me, it's Cardiac Kids at Sick Kids. I know Dana's doing things for the Red Door. I think Joe's doing things for the Brain Cancer Foundation of Canada. There's so many personal causes in there. So if you guys wanted to take a look at our socials, I highly encourage you to do that. Maybe you'll find one that really resonates with you. Just thank you so much for tuning in. And if you guys just want to come out and meet us and just see if we jive with us, the gala is right around the corner. They're still selling tickets. It's on the 18th. Bring your best outfit, obviously, and you'll see us there with the blazers. Just come on up. You can't miss the giant QR code on the back. So.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We got a comment here. When's the gala and how much are tickets? Tickets are $250, guys, and it is on October 18th. It is a Saturday. And I believe that I feel like if you are a donor, sometimes the charity has little surprises in there for you guys with discount codes, but I don't know what the case is there. I just know that I was a donor and I got one of those codes as well. So just get involved, go online and see where you can get it. And I believe it's sparkcharity.ca/shop. And that's where you can find all of it. If you guys are part of a corporation and you wanted to come out as a corporate group, we have tables available as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And that's going to be the night when we celebrate all the hard work put in by the Good People Army. There's going to be laughing. There's going to be crying. There's going to be high-fiving. There's going to be dancing. There's going to be some very, very beautiful energy moving around that room, to say the least.
Yes, I can't wait. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you to the platform at 107.7 and 105.3 FM on the United Public Radio Network. And we will see you guys next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And don't forget to just keep going.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for the opportunity, Adriana. You're so wonderful. You could tell, you got such a big heart, and you're always willing to give and wanting to add value to others. And you're an amazing host, and you made it easy. So for all the listeners and all the viewers, you're lucky to have such a beautiful radio host, and I'm sure they know that too.
Oh, thank you so much, Nick. That's so nice of you. Oh, there's Dana. So excited for the gala. Love getting dressed up, dancing, amazing people, and for great causes. I can't wait. Dana, she's like my number one supporter. I love her. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you guys next week.
All right. Take care, everyone.